Fellow Americans, look around. Tragedies are unfolding worldwide. Natural disasters, conflicts, and supply chain breakdowns are leaving many without basic necessities. But here's the real wake-up call. Right here in the U.S., the situation is becoming increasingly dire. Prices are skyrocketing, shortages are creeping in, and the global chaos shows no sign of slowing. It's time to face reality. Are you really prepared? You may think you've got the essentials covered. Water, canned goods, batteries. Feeling confident, right? But here's the hard truth. When things take a turn for the worse, it's the small, overlooked items that make all the difference. Ever had that, "why didn't I think of that" moment? You're about to. Today, I'm revealing 10 critical foods that could be missing from your stockpile. Foods you might not expect but could mean the difference between comfort and desperation in a crisis. Before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Let's dive in. You won't believe some of these emergency foods. They might just save you. Number 1. Millet. Okay, millet may not have its own trendy hashtags like quinoa, but this ancient grain deserves all the love, and then some. First off, millet is super versatile. It can be cooked like rice, mashed into a creamy porridge, or even used as a base for grain salads. But what really sets millet apart is how hearty and filling it is. In an emergency, you want foods that keep you feeling satisfied for hours, and millet does exactly that. It's packed with carbohydrates for quick energy, but it also provides that slow-burn, long-lasting fullness that'll keep your energy up when you need it most. And here's a little fun fact for you. Millet is incredibly drought-resistant. That means it's a staple crop in parts of the world where other grains might struggle to grow. So if it can thrive in tough conditions, you better believe it'll hold up in your emergency stockpile. Plus, it cooks pretty quickly compared to other grains like brown rice, which means less time spent over a stove or campfire if fuel is limited. Now let's talk nutrients. Millet is packed with essential minerals like magnesium and phosphorus, which are key for maintaining strong bones and healthy muscle function. It's also a great source of plant-based protein. And here's something you may not know. It's naturally alkaline, which can help balance your body's pH levels. A small but important detail when stress and diet might throw things out of whack. Oh, and did I mention that millet is budget-friendly? While quinoa's price tag might make you wince, millet is typically much more affordable, making it a smart choice for stocking up on a budget. And with its long shelf life, you're getting serious bang for your buck. Just store it properly in a cool, dry place, and millet will stick around, ready to be the MVP of your pantry when the time comes. It's one of those grains that you'll wonder why you didn't try sooner. Number 2, popcorn kernels. Now, I know what you're thinking. Popcorn? Really? But trust me, it's more than just a movie night snack. Popcorn kernels are one of those underestimated pantry heroes. First off, they're incredibly lightweight and take up very little space, which is ideal for long-term storage. And here's the kicker. Unlike a lot of other snacks that go stale in no time, popcorn kernels can stick around for years if you store them properly. Think about that. A crunchy, wholesome snack just waiting for you to pop it when you need a little comfort or a quick energy boost. But there's more. Did you know that popcorn is actually a whole grain? Yep, it's full of fiber, which is essential for keeping your digestive system running smoothly. Something you definitely want in an emergency situation. Plus, it's super easy to make even if you're low on supplies. All you need is a little bit of heat and a pan, or even an old-school stovetop popcorn maker if you have one lying around. You can get creative with the seasonings, too. Have some leftover salt, chili powder, or even cinnamon? Sprinkle it on and boom, you've got yourself a tasty, nutritious snack that doesn't require much effort. And hey, in times of stress, the simple act of making popcorn, with that magical sound of kernels popping, can be oddly calming. It's the little things, right? Number 3. Freeze-dried coffee. Ah, coffee. The lifeblood for many of us, am I right? But let's be honest, in an emergency, a good cup of coffee can be more than just a caffeine fix. It can be a little moment of normalcy, something familiar and comforting when everything else feels uncertain. And that's where freeze-dried coffee really shines. It's not just about the flavor, though the flavor is important, of course. It's about that quick, easy boost that can keep you sharp and alert when you need it most. Let's talk about the freeze-drying process for a second. It's basically like hitting the pause button on your favorite freshly brewed coffee. The water is removed, but all that rich flavor and aromatic goodness is locked in. So when you add hot water, it springs back to life, as close as you can get to a freshly brewed cup without all the brewing equipment. No need for fancy gadgets, no waiting around. You just need some water, and you're good to go. Plus, it doesn't take up much room in your pantry, and it has a shelf life that will outlast most of your other emergency supplies. And here's something to think about. Caffeine isn't just a creature comfort. In high-stress situations, caffeine can help improve your focus and energy levels. When you're in an emergency scenario, you might be dealing with sleep deprivation or the need to stay alert for longer periods. That little boost from freeze-dried coffee can give you the mental and physical edge to stay sharp when it really counts. Another bonus? Freeze-dried coffee is super lightweight and portable, making it ideal if you ever have to grab and go. Whether you're packing a bug-out bag or just looking for something to stash in your emergency kit, coffee is one of those small joys that can make a big difference in tough times. Plus, you can get creative. Use it in recipes, like adding a little coffee powder to baked goods, or even mix it into your emergency stash of powdered milk for a makeshift latte. Number 4. Spirulina tablets. Now, I know spirulina might sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but these little green tablets are far from fiction. They're the real deal when it comes to nutritional power. Spirulina is a type of blue-green algae, and while that might not sound super appetizing at first, trust me when I say it's one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can find. These tiny tablets are basically compact superfoods. What makes them so special? Well, for starters, spirulina contains all 9 essential amino acids, which means it's a complete protein, perfect if you're looking for plant-based protein sources during an emergency. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Spirulina is incredibly rich in antioxidants, particularly phycocyanin, which not only gives it that striking greenish-blue color, but also helps combat oxidative stress in your body. That's a fancy way of saying it can help protect your cells from damage. Pretty important when your body's under pressure from stress or limited resources. You might be wondering, but how do I actually use spirulina tablets? The beauty of these guys is that they're super convenient. You don't have to mix them into fancy smoothies or juices, unless you want to, of course. You can just pop a few tablets with water, and boom, you've got yourself a nutrient boost. In emergency situations, when fresh produce might be hard to come by, spirulina can provide essential vitamins like B1, thiamine, B2, riboflavin, and B3, niacin, along with iron and other minerals that your body craves. Plus, they take up practically no space and can last a really long time if stored right. So, whether you're sheltering in place or on the move, spirulina tablets are like little nutritional lifelines that you'll be so glad to have on hand. Number 5. Canned sardines. I know. Sardines don't always get the love they deserve. But when we're talking about survival and long-term nutrition, these little fish are a powerhouse. First of all, they're incredibly nutrient-dense. Sardines are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for brain health and reducing inflammation, something that's important when your diet may not be as balanced in a crisis. They also provide a hefty dose of protein, which helps keep your muscles strong and your energy up. And here's the kicker. Sardines are canned in oil, usually olive or sunflower oil, which gives you an extra source of healthy fats. In survival situations, fats are crucial because they provide concentrated energy and help you stay full longer. Plus, sardines come with calcium from the tiny, soft bones inside. Bonus points for that. But here's why you really want to consider them. They have an insanely long shelf life. Properly stored canned sardines can last up to 5 years or more. So while other foods in your pantry may degrade over time, Sardines will stick around, providing you with essential nutrients when you need them most. I'd recommend grabbing a few brands like Wild Planet or Seasoned Sardines for both quality and flavor. Toss these in your emergency kit and you'll be ready for anything. Number 6. Shelf-stable nut butters. You might already have a jar of peanut butter in your pantry, but let's take it a step further. Nut butters like almond butter, sunflower seed butter, and even tahini, made from sesame seeds, are incredible survival foods. Why? Well, first off, they're loaded with healthy fats, protein, and fiber, which is exactly the trifecta you need to stay fueled and full for longer stretches. Just a few spoonfuls can keep your energy levels up, making it perfect for both meals and snacks when you're on the go or rationing supplies. Another thing to love about nut butters is how easy they are to store. They don't require refrigeration and can last for months, sometimes years, when stored in a cool, dry place. And the variety. You can switch it up from peanut butter to almond butter, giving yourself some flavor variety while still packing in the nutrients. If you want to get the best shelf-stable options, check out brands like Justin's or Once Again. These tend to have less added sugar and preservatives, making them a healthier choice. Now, nut butters can also be super versatile. Spread it on crackers, mix it into oatmeal, or even eat it straight from the jar. In an emergency, simplicity and nutrition go hand in hand, and nut butters deliver on both fronts. Number 7. Powdered bone broth. Yep, you heard me right. Bone broth, especially the powdered kind, is something you might not think to stockpile, but it can be a total game changer. Why? Because bone broth is loaded with collagen, gelatin, and minerals like magnesium, calcium, and phosphorus, all of which are critical for maintaining healthy bones, joints, and gut health. When food is scarce or you're working with limited ingredients, having something that provides this much nutritional bang for your buck is invaluable. The powdered version is lightweight and doesn't take up much space, making it perfect for long-term storage or adding to your bug-out bag. And here's the beauty of it. You can rehydrate bone broth with hot water and sip it as is, or use it as a base for soups, stews, or even to cook grains like rice or quinoa. It gives your meals an extra nutritional boost with almost zero effort. Plus, bone broth is naturally rich in electrolytes, which helps keep your hydration levels balanced. Super important if you're rationing water or sweating it out in stressful conditions. Look for brands like Ancient Nutrition or Kettle and Fire for high-quality, shelf-stable options. These are typically made from grass-fed or pasture-raised sources, meaning you're getting the best possible nutrients. And because it's dehydrated, powdered bone broth has a shelf life that can last you up to a year or more if stored properly. Wake up. This isn't just some doomsday theory. The signs are all around us. The world is changing faster than we can keep up, and if you think things are going to get better on their own, you're fooling yourself. Being prepared isn't a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. You've seen the 7 foods that could make all the difference, but the real question is, are you going to take action? The clock is ticking, and when disaster strikes, it's too late to wish you had done more. Don't be one of those people left scrambling, regretting what they didn't do. If you haven't started stockpiling, you're already behind. Get serious about your preparation, because the world isn't going to wait for you to catch up. Your survival depends on the choices you make now. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and stay ahead of the chaos, because when the worst happens, only the prepared will stand a chance. Thank you for watching.